Hi guys, this is Jerry. This is the all-new BAIC X55. In today's video, I want to do a quick first look for the vehicle. In terms of the exterior, we are going to find quad exhaust pipes. The interior is like a Mercedes vehicle in the drive, acceleration. I'll let you know all you need to know before looking at the all-new BAIC X55. First thing, what is the BAIC motors? BAIC is another name, or in China, some people just simply call it Beijing Motors. The BAIC group is one of the largest group in the Chinese market. Not only they do have their own brands like the BAIC X55, otherwise Arc Fox and some off-road vehicles along with the lineup. You will still find a large amount of share for the Mercedes brand under the BAIC name. The pricing for the BAIC X55 will be on top of the screen. If you're looking to purchase this vehicle, reach out to Roland at Armstrong Newmarket. He'll be able to get you the best deal, finance, trading, offers, whatever you are after. Next, what is the X55? BAIC will offer two vehicles right now. This is the more like a budget and medium-sized SUV. It is over 4.6 meters long, over 1.8 meters wide, with a wheelbase over 2.7 meters. So it's not a small car from the exterior dimensions. For the exterior styling, you are going to get this very cool looking front design. First thing, very slim LED headlights, that's daytime running on the top. Next, you have the full LED precision headlights according to BAIC underneath. The mesh grille at the front looks very cool. You get body color over here, so you're going to see white or gray or red over here. And then you do have the black panels that goes along. Some may argue this design looks actually very similar to the old Moda C5, and I don't disagree. Over here, you are going to get the BAIC logo on the top with a black trims and some active cooling system just on the side. And what do you think about the front? Please let me know in the comment down below. Over here on the side, we are getting a 19-inch alloys. In the New Zealand market, there is only one spec trim. You do get black wheel arches, black panels underneath, some shoulder lines in the center, and some surrounds on the windows. Silver on the top, black on the side, and black colored wind mirrors. You do have roof rails on the top, and a very nice designed C-pillar. This vehicle does not have privacy glass, so I do recommend window tints if you do purchase this vehicle. Now, coming to the back, you are going to get these LED bars, which looks very cool over here. That reminds me of something like a Volkswagen ID4 or even the C-Line 7 from BYD. You get the LED panels across and then back located in center with the LED running again. On the top, you can find two spoiler pits with the gap in the middle, and underneath, you're going to find X55 badge, BAIC logo in the center, and that's pretty much it. If we go all the way underneath, we're going to find quad exhaust pipes. This vehicle isn't really on the performance category, but it does look cool with the quad exhaust pipes. Standard on the BAIC X55, you are going to get the power lift tailgate. After the tailgate, you can find a 350 liters of total volume according to the back brochure, but to be fair, it looks a lot bigger than 355 liters suggests. Along with that, you do have additional storages over here with the foam panels, and then you do have your spare wheel. That's always good to find on a petrol-powered vehicle. If you do release the seats, which is 40-60 drop down, you are going to get more than 1,200 liters combined. It sits fairly flat and you have no issue whatsoever. The space is not too bad. This is how the interior looks like for the rear seats on the X55. Not only the X55 offers sport seats at the front, the rear seats on the side is also sporty looking. You do get black colored leather over here and also red stitchings over here. Let's step inside. I'm about 178 centimeters tall. I've got great amount of room with my sitting position at the front. You have big pockets over here, two air vents, one USB-A charging, and a flat floor, which is a big surprise for a petrol-powered vehicle. In the center, we have armrest and two cup holders over here. On the top, you also get a panoramic sunroof with the electric sunshade. For me sitting at the back, I've got adequate amount of headroom on the top. This is how the car key looks like before we get inside. The vehicle does have an easy entry. That means when you walk away, that will lock. When you walk close, that will unlock automatically. If you do not enable that feature, you could lock the vehicle from distance, unlock the vehicle pressing this button. But when you lock the vehicle, you have to use your car key. There is no touch sensitive functions over here to lock your vehicle, by the way. Inside the X55 at the front, we do have the sport seats with leather trims and also red stitchings along the side. Electric adjust, memory settings, heated cooling function are standard on the BAIC X55. Press over here, that will be on. Keyless entry and push button start is also standard. Remember, there is only one spec available. This is how the interior looks like. We have the BAIC logo in the center, nice thin leather steering on the side. Not premium, but design-wise, it looks alright. You do get functions on the left to change your dashboard settings. You could go left and right to do a few changes just like that. 10.25-inch display, that's what's on the international brochure, but in the New Zealand brochure, it just say 10-inch screen. There is no head-up display, by the way. Overall, the graphic looks fine, there's no issue at all. You do get your windscreen wiper on the right and indicator on the left. You may be wondering, where is the cruise control? It is located just below the steering rack. It is like a Mercedes vehicle in the older generation that come with adaptive cruise control. BAIC owns a large share with the Mercedes group, and they are also the manufacturer for Mercedes vehicle in the Chinese market. In the center, if you move here, that's going to be a 10-inch screen. For the vehicle aesthetics, for the spec levels, everything, this screen feels a little bit small on the size. And it will be a little bit small compared to other vehicles on the same price bracket as well. You do have some functionalities, like the fan speed control is all controlled on the screen. There is no direct buttons for most fan controls. You do have your vehicle settings just located over here. You do have your cameras over here. That's 360 view, again that's standard for the New Zealand market. And you do have the comfort and eco sport smart driving, and that's pretty much it. The vehicle does have Apple CarPlay, which is wireless built-in, and then with an adapter you could use that as an Android Auto device as well. The response time on this touchscreen isn't the really fastest screen, but at least the layout for most features are pretty clear. You should have no issue getting used to the screen easily. Now coming down underneath, apart from the two air vents, we do have a nice layout for the center console. Electronic gear selector is pressing over this button, forward is reverse, backwards is drive. You could also have Tiptronic over here. P button is on the top. You get a storage over here and a one single cup holder over here, handbrake over there. Next, you can find the wireless charge pad over here and your 12-volt socket plus a SD card holder and also the active air vents for the center console. Storage is okay, and you do have a deep storage just over here for you more storage things. We have USB-A and Type-C charging as well. Press this button, decent glove box, no issue at all. In terms of the quality, you get softer material on the top, but they are not leather, they're just the plastic. Plastic in the center, leather wrapped over here with the red stitchings underneath, they're all plastic. You do have a quite quirky air vents design over here, plastic panels over here, not hard, but soft-ish, and along with that, another design just over there. Piano black trims over here, leather trims over here, and the center console is plastic, but at least it feels solid. In some part of the vehicle, you can definitely feel this is a budget-focused vehicle, but overall the functionality of this still works for the majority of the market. Alright, next, let's take the BAIC X55 for a quick drive. Again, today is only a quick impression test for this vehicle. Reverse camera works okay. Quality is average, but it's alright. First thing, visibility on this vehicle is not too bad. Side is okay, A-pillar is fairly large, but again, acceptable. Rear windscreen isn't the largest, but you can still see most of it from the back. Next, power and torque for this vehicle. 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol motor. This vehicle is petrol only. The next B30 will be offered on a hybrid drivetrain. The X55 produces 138 kilowatts of power, 305 Newton meters of torque. Not bad numbers for a 4-cylinder 1.5 liter turbo, so you got good amount of power when you need it. At low speed, when you take off from standstill, the dual clutch transmission can have a little bit lag and hesitation here and there, but it's not too bad, and once you get up to speed, it feels quite solid. The suspension setup on this vehicle is MacPherson strut at the front, multi-link independent suspension at the back. Overall, it feels alright on the road at low and high speed. The steering isn't the dynamic steering at all, but being a front-wheel drive car, it's pretty adequate, and you have no issue getting up to any corners and things like that. As a family-sized SUV, this is alright as well. Doesn't give you the most dynamic feeling, but it's not necessary to be able to give you that feeling either way. Traveling at low speed, this feels alright. The 7-speed dual clutch isn't really the fastest in terms of shift speed, but adequate, as shall see. Again, this is the first impression. I hope I will be able to do a long-term review for this vehicle just on how it drives. Overall, the suspension setup on this is probably focused on its sort of comfort level. It's not the most, say, dynamic handling, and sometimes on certain surfaces it feels a little bit wobbly here and there. But again, you'll be okay with how this performs for an average city driving family vehicle. The noise reduction isn't that superb either. You can definitely feel a little bit noise from the chassis and things, but at least the vehicle build quality feels good. There's not much wind noise as of today. Today is actually very, very windy. Right, with the rush hour in Auckland right now, I don't think we get much chances on just try the acceleration. Let's give it a small go here. It's alright actually. There is a bit of hesitation when you put the foot down to get it, into a lower gear. Then once the gear gets up, the accelerations are quite fast, or feels fast at least. Again, 138 kilowatts is a lot actually for 1.5 liter turbo. So I'm okay with its acceleration or response on this acceleration, so you should be fine with it. Since we're going to sit in traffic for some amount of time, let's quickly test the cruise control, or the adaptive cruise control, using the lever, which is similar to an old Mercedes vehicle. Works fine. Come to a complete stop, you can change the distance from all the way to 4 to 1 as well. So yeah, that's possible. So when you want to resume, you either go up on here or press the accelerator to resume as well. So I guess it works okay, and now it's cancelled by me. Speaking of adaptive cruise control, this vehicle has also got standard safety features like 6 airbags, blind spot detection, front and rear parking sensors, pre-collision warning, emergency braking, lane departure warning, and also lane keep assistance as well. So you should have nearly a full package of safety features available. Acceleration, it's alright, okay. Pedal response isn't the fastest. If you wish the vehicle to go, down speed really quick or downshift really quick, but it's alright. It works, and I'm okay with it. I've changed the vehicle to sport mode. We will see if we can do any sort of acceleration over here. I guess not. The vehicle also automatically turns on your 360 camera when you reach to a low speed, when you use the indicator, by the way. Yeah, it gets up to speed okay. The engine noise isn't the best, but okay for a size vehicle like this. And guaranteed most of the time you don't push the engine as hard as what I did, so it's okay. Yeah, driving on motorway speed, well, it's not really motorway speed. It feels just the same with low speed. Relatively comfortable, and you should find an easy driving on this vehicle in most cases. There's no other weird pings and bumps on this car. That's the good thing. Alright, what are your thoughts about the new BAIC X55? Would this be on your consideration list for a new value-packed mid-size petrol-powered SUV? Please let me know in the comment down below. Thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more bike videos in the future. I'll see you next video.